Hi everyone, I'm Nelly, also known as Makeup by Nelly on Instagram, and this is my model for today, Aubrey, and I'm showing you guys how to do this bronzy glowy look. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe if you guys want to see more. Okay, so for her eyelid primer, I'm going to be using the Stay Don't Stray by Benefit. And I'm going to blend it out with a flat brush. So I'm going to be using the Elcie Cosmetics, the Minimalist palette. And I'm going to be using this shade right here, Blank Start, with my Morphe M511 brush. And I'm just going to be putting this all over her eye. I'm going to be taking the Elcie, the Minimalist palette, and I'm going to be using this shade right here called Tone Up. Have her close her eyes, and I'm going to do this in her crease. I'm going to use Warmth. And then I'm going to be taking this brush from Elena Badreau. There's no number on it, but it's like a short, flat brush. And I'm going to be taking the shade right over here. So I'm going to be taking the flat brush and I'm going to be holding it this way. I'm just going to be blending it upwards, kind of smoking out the corners. And I'm going to take the first crease brush that I used, and I'm just going to lightly blend it out so it's not a harsh, dark line. And then I'm going to take another brush, a little bit more rounder, and I'm going to be dipping into Warmth, and then this color right over here, the darker shade, the brownish shade. And then I'm going to define it a little bit more. For her lid color, I'm going to be putting two products on top. So the first product is the base I use. I use the Lise Watier Wonderland, and I'm going to be placing this all over her lid. And then right when I'm done with that, I'm going to go back in with my same crease brush that I used before, and I'm just going to soften up the line. For the shimmer color, I'm going to be using the new Stila Liquid Metallic Glitters, and this one is called Bronzed Belle. And then I'm going to blend it out with the same concealer flat brush. And I'm going to go back in with the same Elcie Cosmetics color. I'm going to define it a little bit more in the crease so the orange pops a little more. And then I'm going to be using the Marc Jacobs pencils in the color Brown Out inside her waterline. It's like a shimmery brown. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to be doing her lashes now. I'm going to be taking just any wispies you can buy at any makeup store. Just going to be curling her lashes so the lashes don't look flat when I put on the false lashes. And I'm going to be using my favorite go-to mascara. It's the Lorac Pro. down that way. Look down this way. And now that I have the base of the lashes, just any wispies you can do, I'm going to be adding on individuals just to make them more dramatic and wispy. So before I start doing her foundation or anything like that, I'm going to be using the Elcie Cosmetics Hydra Enhancer to spray it all over her face and give her a nice, fresh look before we begin. Close. Okay, so my favorite primer is the Pearl Radiance Elcie Primer. This has like a nice sheen glow underneath, so whenever you put it on, it looks like they have like a glow to their skin. And I'm going to be using a flat brush from Bdellium Tools 365. This is my go-to brush for applying facial primer. And I'm going to be doing this all over her face. And this looks like a paintbrush too, so I'm painting it. So I'm going to be mixing the almond from Elcie and warm ivory together. So using a damp beauty blender, I'm going to be putting on the Elcie foundation all over her face. Look up. Turn your head this way. So for the concealer, I'm going to be using my favorite concealer. It's a Tarte Shape Tape concealer, and this color is light medium. Look up. And I'm going to be applying this wherever the light hits her face. Okay, and then for the contour, I'm not going to be doing a harsh contour today because she doesn't really need a lot of contour, so I'm going to be using the NARS liquid bronzer in Laguna. Okay, and to set in her foundation, I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm putting this everywhere I put the highlighter. And I'm doing this right here so she can have that cheekbone look. Not that she needs it or anything. I'm going to be using the MAC Give Me Sun. And I'm going to be using this as a bronzer with my Morphe E53 brush. And while I'm applying her bronzer, I can just dust off the translucent powder. I'm going to be going in with the Elcie Cosmetics medium bronzer, and I'm going to be building on top of that. And I'm going to be doing it on her jawline as well because I want it to look a little sharper. And now I'm going to dust off her translucent powder. Look up. And then I'm going to be using the same Elcie medium bronzer to go over her nose a little bit. Now we're going to move on to the highlight, and I'm using my favorite highlighter right now. It's the Laura Geller Gilded Honey. I always use the Elcie Hydra Enhancer to spray it on my brush, which is the Morphe Y14. This is my favorite highlighting brush. And spray. And I'm also going to be applying this on her Cupid's bow. A little bit on her chin. And then with my favorite nose highlighting brush, I use the Morphe M515. I like to apply this on the tip of her nose. When you apply highlight on the tip of the nose, it gives it like a nice lift look. Like the sun is hitting it and it's shining. As well as her tear ducts. With the same palette I used for her eyes is the Elcie Minimalist. I'm going to be taking these three shades right over here to give it like an ombre effect underneath her eyes. I'm going to be using this shade right here for the outer corners. With my same brush, I'm going to be dipping into this shade right over here. And then lastly, I'm going to be dipping into this shade right over here. I'm going to be putting mascara on her bottom lashes. And then I'm going to hide her lash line with the Morphe Slate Gel Liner. And to fill in her eyebrows, I'm going to be using the Tamnova brow powder. This is called Blondie. You can use any brow slanted brush. So I'm going to line her lips with the MAC Strip Down Lip Liner. I don't like to just put a gloss on. I just like to put on matte first and then gloss on top because that way it lasts longer. So I'm going to be using the Dose of Colors in Supernatural. Together. And then for the lip gloss, I'm going to be using this Pop Beauty color. It's called Bare Nectar. I'm going to be adding a little bit in the middle.